if you want to talk about the way Washington works, I think, you can look at Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez as kind of a new Obama, this new kind of attractive blank screen that aspirational young people can project their ambitions upon. And she's clearly made this kind of Faustian bargain to not talk about foreign policy, not challenge the bipartisan foreign policy consensus, and soak in one puff piece and one positive media profile after another. And then she'll get her kind of empty Green New Deal to defend and advocate for. That's the way I see so many Democrats in Washington function, and they make this bargain to not put up resistance to what is effectively a deep state. I call it the national security state. And look at what Obama's become in his post-presidency. I mean, his post-presidency is absolutely shameful. It's just an endless splash fight with Richard Branson on a private island. While Michelle Obama sells 1 million books about nothing. That's what he made this bargain, and he, is someone who didn't make a ton of money before he was president, and now he's going to be very wealthy and very comfortable, and that's who we can see Obama as.
You're a tough crowd, man. I mean, AOC is already too mainstream for you.
I mean, I think a lot of people are seeing, and not to shift subjects too much, I think we can come back to this, but I think a lot of people who really invested hopes in her because she said she was a socialist, because she was close to Democratic Socialists of America, are seeing what she is in the way that she kind of threw Ilhan Omar under the bus over the AIPAC debate that Ilhan Omar sparked yesterday.
Now, did she, what did AOC, okay, so for people who have been in a cave or something, Representative Omar basically said, asserted on Twitter that politicians were supporting Israel because they were getting money from AIPAC. If I got that right, I don't remember the exact sequence of tweets. And she said it with the phrase, it's all about the Benjamins. And so she was accused of playing in anti-Semitic tropes, and she wound up apologizing. Did AOC, did she just kind of remain silent or what? I mean, I know like Nancy Pelosi, I mean, a lot of the Democratic establishment certainly made it clear they wanted an apology. Did AOC just not say anything?
I hope this doesn't fly over the heads of people who aren't really involved in the weeds of Israel-Palestine politics. But first of all, AOC did not defend Ilhan Omar. She didn't stick up for her. She had what appears to be a series of meetings with a group called If Not Now, which is sort of one of these Jewish American youth groups that fashions itself as non-Zionist and emerged out of the ranks of J Street, which is a liberal Zionist lobby that, supported a two-state solution, opposed BDS fervently, and, I thought was kind of on the wrong side of history on Palestine. And through those meetings, AOC basically welcomed Ilhan Omar's apology and this idea that Omar needed to actually apologize for stating something that was obviously true to those of us who know, anything about the Israel lobby and how it operates. I think there are other reasons besides the Benjamins, like geopolitics, like anti-Arab and anti-Palestinian racism, the religion of the Christian Zionist lobby. There's many, but it's basically true. AIPAC.
Well, I mean, all interest groups use money in Washington, and most of them brag about their success, including AIPAC.
Yes, Alan Dershowitz said that AIPAC and the Israel lobby was the most successful venture one of the most successful ventures that Jews in history had ever organized. Thomas Friedman said that Netanyahu's standing ovations before Congress were bought and paid for by AIPAC. Peter Beinart reported that every member of Congress brought their top AIPAC donor with them to that notorious Netanyahu speech, where he was invited by the opposition leader to denounce the president of the United States. So there you have it. It's really obvious. And Ocasio-Cortez did not defend Ilhan Omar. She met with this group, which grew out of J Street. And then when Omar apologized and said she's learning the history of anti-Semitism from her Jewish allies, AOC welcomed that. And I found that really condescending, because here you have a Somali American refugee, someone who's really representing her constituents in Minneapolis and how they feel about Palestinians and how her family and her community probably feel about Palestinians. Someone from a community that's been heavily surveilled by the FBI. I think ultra-privileged white American Jews should be learning history from her. We should be learning lessons from her. And for AOC to say in this condescending way, well, it's good that she did this. Hooray, you've learned your lesson. Now move on. And not defend her on one of the most critical issues. After coming into Congress on the basis of, being a socialist and representing this change from business as usual in the Democratic Party, a change from Representative Joe Crowley, who was a J Street Democrat, I think that's really lamentable. And I think a lot of people are seeing the Faustian bargain she made, which is to not challenge the bipartisan foreign policy consensus, to allow business to take place as usual and soak in the positive PR that she's going to get, just as Obama did.